Oh, chicka wow wow, Bone Man. I have a question. Is he romanceable? Is he romanceable? I need to know. I know that one of the Skelly boys is romanceable. Or at least they've hinted that one of the Skelly boys is romanceable. It's not Manfred, but I'm scared that they are double bluffing right now. Don't say that I can kiss a skeleton and then take it away from me. You don't understand. I need this. So, the latest Game Informer article is called, you can't really see it here, but I will read it for you. How Romance and Relationships Work in Dragon Age the Veilguard. So we're going to read it together, and I want your guys' opinion on it and stuff and things. So Dragon Age the Veilguard is a BioWare RPG, which means a lot of things, including the fact that the game will feature romance, based on what I learned during a recent trip to BioWare's Edmonton office for the current Game Informer cover story. Veilguard will be the team's most romantic game yet. Are you guys ready for the most romantic game, thank you very much, that BioWare has produced to date? Guard thy loins, because here they come in full force, and hopefully they will be coming in full force. I mean, what? Let's get right into it. Every companion in the game has a relationship level related to Rook, and the choices you make, and not even specifically about the companion, but in the world in general, what you say to companions, how you help or don't help them, and more all play into it. So it's like every other Dragon Age game, essentially. There's nothing new here. In Origins and in Dragon Age 2 and in Dragon Age Inquisition, every character had like a romance gauge. The only difference is that you never got to see it in Dragon Age Inquisition. In Dragon Age Origins and in Dragon Age 2, when you go to the character screen, there was a little gauge down the bottom that showed your like relationship level. In Dragon Age 2, it was a double-sided one. So if you went all the way this way, you got like a friendship level. And if you went all the way this way, you got like a rivalry level. So there's nothing different there. And it's the same with like anything you do in any other Dragon Age games, where like if you make a decision based on something in the world, in the game, then you'll get little approval, like, you know, like Cassandra greatly approves, Solus greatly disapproves, like those kind of things will come up. It's been the same in every single game, so they're keeping that standard. What I want to know is it going to be like Inquisition where you never see the relationship level, or is it going to be like Dragon Age Origins and Dragon Age 2 where there's a meter down at the bottom of your character kind of like sheet that shows the progress of your relationship level? That's what I want to know. Every time you rank up a companion's relationship level, you unlock a skill point, which is interesting. That's interesting. So does that mean that when a character levels up, you don't get a skill point, or do you get a skill point when you level up and when you level up their relationship level? I need more clarity on that. Also, I'm going to cough, and I do apologize. I have been sick for the past week, so if I cough, I genuinely apologize. Hello. So I hated that there wasn't a gauge in Dragon Age Inquisition, so I really hope they have something like that in Dragon Age Veilguard. I believe that the reason that you couldn't see it in Dragon Age Inquisition is that the devs, now don't quote me on this, but the devs wanted it to be more realistic, in that you never have like a relationship level with people. You just like do things and they approve, they disapprove. So they wanted it to not be influenced by a gauge. They wanted it to be influenced by the choices you made in the game, which I understand and I get that. But sometimes it is nice just to see where the relationship level is. So if they leave it out, I won't be too disappointed. If they put it in, great. That's another thing that we can look forward to. But this is really interesting. Like, every time you rank up a companion's relationship level, you unlock a skill point to spend specifically on that companion. So though companion skill trees pale in comparison to Rook's expansive tree, is it literally like the only way you can level up your companion's abilities is through the relationship levels rather than through them leveling up? You know, like how in Dragon Age Inquisition, when you level up, everyone gets like a skill point that you can put into like your skill trees and stuff, whereas this is all about relationships and stuff. That's going to be odd to get used to. I don't know what you guys think about that. That's going to take a minute for me to get used to. I'm not opposed to it. It's just very different to how it's always been. Maybe it's separate. Maybe. I guess we're just going to have to wait and find out. Though companion skill trees pale in comparison to Rook's expansive tree. That's something else that they've been talking about, how the skill tree for Rook is going to be far more complex compared to the companion skill trees, and the companion skill trees are going to be very customized to them. They're going to be very niche. So like, for example, Nev's is going to be like ice magic and stuff like that. And time, I think she's going to have time magic as well. Don't quote me on that as well. I'm just pulling it out of my arse from memory. But it's going to be interesting to see how limited you are with the companion skills rather than with Rook's skills, or how that's going to impact combat and other things. Because in Inquisition, the skill trees were all pretty much exactly the same. Everybody had the same size skill tree. The only thing that was different was the subclasses that you picked, but they were all roughly the same size. So that'll be interesting to see. Which features... so Rook's expansive tree features passive abilities, combat abilities, and more, as well as paths to 3 unique class specializations. There's still some customization here. So... you pick your, if you imagine like the center of your skill tree, there's going to be like branching arcs for the subclasses, so you can choose which direction you want to go in depending on what class you want to be and what subclass you want to be. So you can customize it based on what you can pick off the skill tree. But I wonder how that's going to work for your companions. Each companion has access to 5 abilities, but you can only take 3 into combat. Thus, it's important to strategize which abilities to spend a skill point on and how those abilities can synergize with your current build on the battlefield. Which is also really funny. They've given us 5 abilities, but you can only pick 3. They're trying to force us to strategize a lot more in this game, I think. So instead of having your 5 abilities at the bottom for you to use at any time, you can only pick 3. So you have to like think, what are the 3 that I'm going to pick? How do they combo with my companions? And what ones am I going to pick for them? So they're forcing you to be a little bit more strategic. And as someone who loves strategy, I do love strategy. But strategy isn't everybody's cup of tea. So I feel like this could have been something that could have been optional for people who don't like strategy, but we'll see what reception it gets when it comes out. Is anybody in chat someone who doesn't like strategy, who just wants to play a game and not overly think it and stuff? So I personally love strategy. But I know that I'm not a fan of strategy. I know I will struggle with this game. Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. I'm worried that this is very one-sided. It's okay. It's okay if you like strategy. That's fine. But I feel like it should be an option, not something that is mandatory to the game. Yes, great. Encourage people to strategize and use things more. But I feel like it should be an option. I like to hack and slash my first playthrough, but strategy is fun when I know what's going on. Yeah, I know. It's going to be Is it going to be overwhelming at the very beginning when everyone is learning the game? Even for me, someone who loves strategy, is it going to be overwhelming at the beginning of a game when you literally don't know how the game plays, you literally don't know what's going on, but you're forced to be strategic? What I like about Dragon Age games is building my own strategies. Do you know what I mean? So like in Dragon Age Inquisition, I play the game until I get a handle on the game, and then I build my mages around each other and around how I like to play the game and how I like to strategize. Whereas this feels like this is the only way you can strategize and you have to use it. And I'm like, but what if I want to come up with my own way of, do you know what I mean? I'm going to remain open-minded about this and see how it actually plays when the game comes out. But this is what's worrying me right now, is that a lot of people are going to be turned off by this because it's forcing them into a gaming style that they might not like straight away, or that might take a while to get used to, shall we say. Just to try and remain positive about it. I'm more worried that this is going to be something that people are going to have a problem with. I'm going to have a hard time with the strategy. I tend to run in and bash things a lot. I build stories with the teams I travel with, and the strategy style of gaming is going to limit that. Hopefully, and again, just to keep a positive spin on this, hopefully it won't. But yeah, this is the one thing that I'm like worried for other people about. Thus, it's important to strategize which abilities to spend a skill point on and have those abilities on the battlefield. La 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 la. This is interesting, actually. Though I couldn't confirm, Dragon Age series art director Matt Rhodes hints that companion issues, problems, and personal quests will play into this relationship level and how a companion interacts with Rook. Bellara, for example, has her own story arc that runs parallel to the parallel and informs the story path you're on. What? So is her story completely separate and parallel to Rook's? I want to see how this works. I want to see what that means. There's going to be like her story running alongside our story. Every character has a story though. Like every character has a story arc. Why is hers? Or is it just an example? I mean, as a veil jumper, that would make sense. Maybe, yeah. She could be like jumping through. Does that mean that we're going to like branch off and play her at some point? No, probably not. Rhodes tells me while I watch game director Corin Bush play through a linear story-driven mission in Arlathan Forest where Rook is searching for Bellara. Bush adds that relationships are key. Not only relationships but friendships. We want to lean into not just relationships and the characters have with you, but the relationships they have with each other. It's a found family at the end of the day. They need to trust they all have each other's back. What if she does work for the egg? What if she's going to be the mage that betrays us? There's always a mage that betrays us. Why? Anyway, let's get into romance. However, fret not, BioWare fans. Romance is a key part of relationships in this game, Bush says, noting that some of the romances will get quite spicy. I hope you guys are ready for a spicy romance. That's what I'm here for. I don't know about you guys. I'm actually not just here for spicy romances. I'm here for non-spicy romances as well. But it will be interesting to see which one. Yes, old man romance spice. Can you imagine? However, not all of them will be as each romance has a very different flavor, according to Bush. Some characters are straight to the point. Some characters are just like you, me, bed, now. While others are more awkward, that's adorable, having never been in a relationship before. Oh, who's the relationship virgins? Who could it possibly be? Who's the relationship virgins? You learn who these characters are and in how their romances unfold, she says. She likens romantic and platonic relationships to another way to level up your companions. It's not just experience and skill points that determine Rook's standing with companions, but diegetic conversations too. Holy shit, my brain just like melted out of my ears there for a second. Lucanus and Harding? How can Harding never have had a relationship before? She's wonderful. I can see it being Lucanus though. Oh, I like the idea of being with Darwin at this point. It's between him and Emmerich. Definitely. I can see Darwin never being in a relationship before. Like, how old was he when he joined the Wardens and then the Wardens just took over his life? Don't worry, I know what diegetic means. I know what diegetic means. I just can't. I don't think I've ever seen the word diegetic written down. I don't think I've ever seen the word diegetic written down. So my brain was just like, huh? But yeah, I think it could be Darwin, who's never been in a relationship before. Like, Grey Wardens just took over his whole fucking life. Exactly like Alistair. If it's Lucanus, it'll be because he's so tortured and can't trust anyone. I had to read it like that. I'm so sorry. Just because of the way that you wrote it, I had to read it like that. This man is tortured. He's so tortured inside. Who uses that word in regular conversation though? I agree. I've heard people say it before. It could be Belarala. She could actually be relationshipless. My brain filled in digestive and thought they were having conversations after dinner. my dyslexic brain does that too. I don't actually know if I'm dyslexic, but I mean the signs are all there. BioWare has already revealed that every companion in Veilguard is pansexual. We're all in the cupboard with the pots and pans, and it's canon as well. Like this isn't just everyone can romance everyone. This is canon that everyone is pansexual because it's just a simpler way to be when it comes to stuff like this. Notably different from the community dubbed player sexual, which is a fantastic word, might I just add, approach in some games which sees NPCs adjust romantic and sexual interests based on the player rather than their own sense of sexuality. I always like point out to people that because people bitch and moan, hi, I'm people, about characters like Cassandra not being bisexual. She's obviously bisexual, but what I will say is that it's a very, very good way to teach people to respect other people's sexuality. If someone isn't a sexuality, and I know we're dealing with fiction here and fictional characters, so it's technically different, but if you think about it, if someone's attractive and you want to date them, but they turn out to be a different sexuality than what would work for you and them, therefore you cannot date each other, just sit back and fucking respect it. Like, I know that it's just a game, but we can sit here and joke about, oh, Cassandra should be bisexual, they missed a trick there, because that's true 100%. But then we sit back and we're like, you know what, I respect that she's straight, and I'm going to tell her to her face that as someone who isn't straight, you're stunning. However, well, I hated the mod that makes Dorian straight. That's the problematic one, is that Dorian's whole story is that his parents were essentially going to put him through conversion therapy to make him fucking straight. That's his whole fucking story. It's literally his fucking story. And people are like, well, I don't like that I can't romance him as a woman, so I'm going to make a mod to make him straight. I'm like, well, you've just done his dad's job for him. You've just fucking done, bruh. Bruh. They did it for Sarah as well, and that is on Gay Erasure. And that is on Gay Erasure. Stop erasing our representation. So, to make everything slightly more, everybody's pansexual. So, if you want to be with any of the characters, you can be, because they don't judge what sexuality you are. They don't judge what's in your pants. We pansexuals do not judge. We judge on the soul. We judge on the soul. Dude, honestly, just all jokes aside for a second, bisexual Solus would have been too powerful. Would have been too powerful. Would have ended the world. He wouldn't have needed to tear down the veil, because him being bisexual would have been too powerful. That would have ended the fucking world. That would have just like ended all of Thedas. Just gone. We're not ready for a bisexual Solus. One of these days maybe, but nah, it's fine. La 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 la. As pansexual companions, they are attracted to people of any gender or regardless of gender. That's a critical distinction, because in Veilguard, your companions aren't just going to vie for your attention. They might take attraction to other companions in Veilguard as well. The other reason why I like that the companions are pansexual is that you as Rook are potentially going to be playing as non-binary. They've introduced non-binary Rooks as well. The pronouns that you can pick for your Rooks are he, him, she, her, they, them. So it's one of those things where, how do you incorporate non-binary people into gendered romances and do it well? Make everybody fucking pansexual. That's how you do it. That's just how you counter everything, because it doesn't matter if you're male, female, if you're full of gender or void of gender. It doesn't matter what gender you are. A pansexual does not mind. And I'm speaking from experience here. I'm demisexual, but I'm pan in the sense that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what your gender is. It doesn't matter what you're packing. It doesn't matter at all to me if you're good on the inside. You're fucking good. So it's a really good way. It's a really good way to not only make all characters into each other, but all characters into you, which is what they're trying to do. They're just trying to be inclusive by bringing in the non-binary section of things as well. So this is actually a really smart move, in my opinion. Give me 1 second whilst I cough. I do apologise. I was sick last week, like I said. I'm still recovering. La 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 la. That's a critical distinction, because in Veilguard, your companions aren't just vying for your attention, they're vying for each other. So just another reminder that if you don't romance certain characters, they will romance each other. So we have confirmation that Tash and Harding date each other. So that's something to look forward to. So if you don't romance Tash or Harding, there's a chance that they will romance each other, like Dorian and Iron Bull in Inquisition, or Blackwall and Josephine. They will have like little things for each other, so I'm really excited for that. How long have you had a Twitch channel? Too long? Very long. I've been streaming for a very long time. It's lovely to have you here. Giving one companion the cold shoulder might nudge them into the warm shoulder of someone else on the team. Bush says companions can form romances with each other, although I'm unable to confirm if that means locking Rook out of a romance with them. I assume so, unless that they are like poly-romancing and stuff. I'm pretty sure that once you reject someone, I don't think you can go back to them, but don't quote me on that either. We'll see what happens. I saw nothing resembling romance in the very early hours of the game. However, I did see the romantically inclined emotional responses in Rook's dialogue choices at the time, which led to my Rook flirting with Ice Mage and private detective companion Nev Gallus. Bush says this is the option to flirt and push platonic relationships into romantic territory, though Rook's flirtatious efforts aren't always reciprocated. But that's not to say you should ignore the other options. I saw dialogue choices resemble friendly, snarky, and direct too. I can see how these different flavours of dialogue likely mix and mingle into Rook's relationships with companions. It's still a mostly mysterious system to me, but as Veilguard is due out this fall, I don't have to wait too long, and neither do you. We've been waiting for 10 years. It's been 84 years. No, but what a wait though. Nothing new on the old man. But he is reported to have the most intimate and sensual romance in the game. It has already been confirmed. Emmerich, sensual and romantic and intimate. Hello? Hello? So, obviously, I want to ride this. He's so pretty, though. He's so pretty. I could absolutely do an Emmerich cosplay. I absolutely could, though. Wait, what if I did? What day is it? Tuesday? I have a weekend coming up where hopefully I'll be fully better by the weekend. What if I just threw together a quick closet Emmerich cosplay? Can you fucking imagine? A wee tiny tash? Just spray my hair? I've still got my white hairspray from when I do Percy de Rollo. Dude. Watch this space. Follow me on TikTok. Follow me on YouTube. I need a skelly boys. Oh my god, you guys, I've got good news. Oh, I won't say that on this stream right now. I will mention it in just a second. So that's the updates that we have so far. I don't know how many more updates are going to be coming out between now and release. I'm hoping for a September release as well, but I'm pretty sure that the last release we got in fall was in November. I wouldn't be surprised if it was going to be October times, like halfway between the fall, but I'm kind of hoping for September. Basically, the second that Veilguard drops, I'm dropping everything that I'm doing. Everything else, like the Inquisition game, the Final Fantasy stuff that I'm doing right now, I'm dropping everything and I'm just fucking playing Veilguard. I am beyond excited so much. But yes, if you've been watching on YouTube, thank you very much for watching. Please do let me know what you think about all of the new updates in the comment section down below. Remember to like and comment and subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next Dragon Age Veilguard update. Hopefully there won't be too many more before the release, but you know, we're getting ever closer to me looking at the camera and saying, welcome to the stream, guys. Welcome to Veilguard. I absolutely cannot wait. So yes, thank you very much for watching, YouTube, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a good one, guys. See you next time. Bye.